Hi there, it's Catching from 3Ps. Thank you for joining me. This is the second of our beginners workouts using weights. So this is a workout that's if you are just starting with weights, you want a whole body workout using weights, then this is for you. I've designed it in particular so that you can do this at home or you can do it in the gym. So there's no complicated weights machines involved. We're talking dumbbells and then either a bench if you've got one or a chair if you don't. At the gym, you just need to be in the normal weights area. You don't have to worry about the big machines. In this particular workout, I'm also going to use a piece of equipment called a Viper, which is simply a long tube which has some handholds in it. You can pick up Vipers very easily on eBay secondhand. If you don't have a Viper, then just adapt this by using either a bar or you can easily just use two dumbbells. What you would do is just hold the dumbbells together to get the motion of a Viper. But if you have a Viper, this is a great one to use for that. So first of all, let's get cracking. As I do with all of my whole body workouts, we basically work from the bottom up. So we start with the legs first, and then we'll go on to the back, chest, and then we'll finish with the shoulders and arms. So let's just have a look at the Viper, and I'll demonstrate the first two exercises. And these are a squat with a Viper over your head, and they are a lunge with a twist using a Viper. If you have hypertension, high blood pressure, please be careful about any lifting weight above your head. You need to consult a doctor before you start any sort of weights workout, but in particular, any workout where you're lifting weights above your head is dangerous if you've got hypertension, so you need to speak to a doctor first. But apart from that, provided you're not pregnant, you haven't got any particular injuries, this is a good introductory workout for you. If you do it 2 to 3 times a week, you give it a month, you will feel so much better, you will look so much better, and hopefully it will start you on a path to including weights in all of your workouts. Literally, this workout won't take more than 15 minutes a day, so you can add it to what you're already doing. If you're already do a run or you cycle or you go and do an exercise class at the gym, just add 15 minutes, take 15 minutes off your cardio, add this. I tell you, it's a brilliant investment to how your body looks, because if you do any sort of weights work, you end up having really lovely, firm muscles or curves. So it's a fantastic way of looking fit, feeling fit, and you won't get that look from cardio alone, so you need to add some weights to it. So let's start first with the Viper. I'm going to show you the squat with the Viper above your head and the lunge with a twist. Okay, here is my Viper. Okay, this is what it looks like. It's got, as you can see, handholds. Now, you get them in different weights. This is the lighter one. The one as for example, for a woman or a man who's going to lift your weights, maybe you want to start with this. You can work up. They go in colours, and I think that the black one is the heaviest. This is the medium size, and there's also a green, which I think is lighter. For this exercise, I'm using the two handholds that are roughly shoulder length apart. I'm going to do the exercise, the squat first, without speaking, and then I'll come back and do it again and explain what I'm doing. So we'll just start with the exercise in silence first, and then I'll explain to you what I'm doing. Turn to the side to show you. Okay, so that's a squat, an overhead squat with a Viper. As you become more advanced, if you get into weights, you would do this exercise. You can do it with a full-on Olympic bar as well. It's quite an advanced exercise in terms of balance and flexibility, because what you're doing is you actually move up towards my head. You're bending your lower body while keeping your shoulders stable and a weight above your head. So it's quite a fun exercise because it's technically a bit more challenging than a basic squat. I like it also because as an entry level, you don't have to have a huge amount of weight, but you're getting a good all-body workout with it. So what you're doing, and just put the Viper down, so we'll just explain on the squat. I have got a video on squats if you look on this channel, if you want to get your technique right, but it's a basic recap. Squat means hips, legs, feet hip distance apart. Toes facing forward, body nice and square. As you come down, keep your back nice and tall. I don't want to see an arch and I don't want to see a tuck. Just a natural arch in your back. Stomach in, but don't lock it. And literally you're going to keep your head facing forward, chest up, you're just going to bend. And you're going to try and bring your bottom down to the ground without tipping forwards or backwards. So it's this movement. Okay, let me show you. It's that movement. Okay, and up. As you come up, you want to feel you're being powered by your glutes and your hamstrings to lift you up. So as you come down, in this position you've got a good stretch on your front of your thighs. To come back up, you're using your glutes and your hamstrings. At the top, Squeeze your glutes to really intensify the exercise, and then very slightly over straighten. That's what a squat looks like without a weight. When you add the weight, and with any weight, take it in stages up over your head. So lift your shoulder first, above your head. This slightly restricts your movement. You're not going to come as low with this above your head, but you get a really good intense squat with this. So as you come down, you're keeping your back up. You'll feel this in your lower back. Depending on how flexible you are, that will affect how low you can go. But it's a really fun exercise. I can feel that additional weight working on the front of my thighs. So I'm really increasing the intensity on my quads with this exercise. Okay? So that's your squat with a Viper. Okay? Squat is one of the basic leg exercises that you would do in any routine. You know, whether you're Mr. Universe or just starting out, squats will be in your routine. So it's a good way to start with a weights routine, to include squats. The other basic exercise that you'll see in almost all routines for weights is called a lunge. If you look yesterday's all body workout, I did a lunge in that, a basic lunge with dumbbells. This is the same, but I've added a twist, and I mean literally a twist, so a movement that does this. And the aim of that is just to get you out of just a straightforward backwards forwards motion, start to use your body in different ways, but it also means that you exercise your shoulders and you exercise your core muscles because you're twisting as you come down. So let me first of all demonstrate without speaking, then I'll come back and explain what I'm doing. Okay, so that was a basic squat with a twist. The squat, we just talk about the squat. Obviously you're standing with your feet hip distance apart, toes facing forward. Just going to strike forward with one foot, foot flat on the ground, bend, the leg left behind, the knee is aiming towards the floor, come back up, jump back. Swap feet, bend, knee almost touching the floor, come back. That's your basic squat. That works particularly the front of the thigh, your glutes and your hamstrings. So good all over exercise for the upper part of your leg. When you add a Viper, first of all you're adding a bit of weight, so you're increasing the load on your legs, but the twist means you're also using your core and also your back. So as you come forward, entry level is to keep the Viper at your shoulder height. As you come down, as you come up, you're going to twist. Okay, you're going to come back. As you come down, do a normal squat. As you come back up, add a twist. Okay? Down, come up, add a twist. I can feel this working my shoulders slightly. Down, touch, up, twist. So that works. I can feel that working. Muscles here and the front of my shoulders. Now the other method which I showed near the end of that demo was the same exercise, but with the Viper out at shoulder height. That is the same exercise but with increased intensity. It particularly puts more load on your shoulders, so it's good if you want to do some extra shoulder work. Particularly if you're a man with developed shoulders, it's good. If you're a woman, you're quite strong and you're not being challenged by having the Viper here, take the Viper out. Good thing about a Viper is you can vary the intensity. So this is the easiest, that's the most difficult. You can take it in grades, depending on how you feel, okay? By taking the weight away from your body is required to stabilise. So again, you're also using your core muscles to keep from tipping, so it's good for your whole core. So, what you're doing is, I'll show you here, you take the Viper out, keeping it steady. You're doing this movement, okay? As you come up, you're twisting. Up, twist, and again, up, twist, and again, up, twist, and again. Okay, so those are your two leg exercises using a Viper. If you haven't got a Viper, use anything that gives you some weight. You can use 2 dumbbells held together like that, 2 cans of beans, it doesn't matter. But just something to give you a bit more weight at the front so that you engage your core muscles. In terms of doing the squat overhead, again, just use something with a bit of weight. It can even be 2 cans of beans, whatever, a couple of dumbbells, but keep your arms still so that when you squat, you're keeping this weight above your head. So let me just clear the floor for the next exercise. Right, the next exercise is a shoulder exercise, and we're going to do what's called an Arnold, followed by an around the world. These again will work your shoulders. The Arnold works all of the shoulder, as does the around the world. So they're really good introductory shoulder exercises to develop the strength in your shoulders, start to develop some shape in your shoulders. They're good for men and women. For women watching, you won't get huge of these exercises, but you will get just a nice defined bump, towards the sort of Michelle Obama look. I'm not suggesting that you're going to get massive. You just might get a nice, slightly more worked out look in your upper arms. I know that noticing with my clients who are runners in particular, that often their arms can get looking quite wasted, and that for me looks like a little girl. And on a 35-year-old, I think that looks a bit odd. And I think what you should be aiming for is a more worked out look, and that comes from lifting weights, not from doing lots of cardio. So add this to your routine just to give yourself a bit more of a worked out look. So I'm going to start with an Arnold, and then we'll do what's around the world. So I'll demonstrate the Arnold first in silence, then come back and explain what I'm doing. I'm actually going to bend so you can see what I'm doing, okay? Show you from the side. Okay. What was I doing there? Right. If you've ever seen a normal shoulder press, it's this movement, okay? The difference with an Arnold, and obviously it does come from Schwarzenegger, is as you come down, you bring your elbows together and squeeze them underneath your chin. Coming up, elbows together. There's a twist in it. If you can see this twist, let me show you the side. Normal shoulder press looks like this. Arnold looks like this. Squeeze and up, squeeze and up and squeeze. Good exercise working the whole of your shoulders to get that nice taut look. It's quite an advanced move. So start light and get used to the movement. As you become better at getting your elbows in, then go up in weight. I often see with clients them doing almost like a half Arnold. So they come down and come to sort of here and then back up. That's not really the point. You need to get into the full range of motion to get your elbows together. Up, squeeze, and you can feel it squeeze at this point. You can feel that working the front delt and the upper part of the chest. It's a really fantastic exercise for shape. And again, I was talking earlier about the need to, with a woman, to develop the upper chest to avoid getting that really bony appearance. Much nicer, I think, to have a bit of a muscle underneath the skin here so that you look healthy and you look shapely without looking too skinny. So that's the first exercise. The next one is called an around the world. And with all of these exercises, I'm doing them in pairs. So this is in effect, my shoulder pair. So the second one is called around the world. I'll show it first, then I'll talk you through how to do it. Come down so you can see what I'm doing. From the side. Again, you wouldn't normally bend your knees, but because I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing, that's why I'm bending my knees. But my back is up in a normal position. Okay. So, what I was doing there is starting with the dumbbells You should pick the dumbbells out, as you can see. Okay, start with the dumbbells with your knuckles facing forward. You're not resting on your thighs. The weights are standing slightly in front of you like this, okay? You're not resting here, just slightly in front. Your back is nice and tall, stomach is in. You're not going to move your upper body at all. You're going to keep your body flexible but steady, so you're not rocking forward or backwards. There's no momentum in this exercise, it's all using your shoulders. So what you're going to do then, keeping your knuckles facing forward, as you come out, you're going to twist and bring them round. It's almost like a clock face. Let me show you here. So you're going to bring them down, and you're going to bring them up. You don't clonk them at the top, just bring them into this almost like a shoulder press position, and bring them down. Okay? Bring them up, and bring them down. Now, that exercise works in particular your mid-delt, which is the muscle that gives you the shape here, the upper shape, which a lot of women would love to have, but don't know how to get. You're not going to get this shape from doing cardio. You're not necessarily even going to get that shape from doing a straightforward shoulder press, because it's the outside of the delt. You are going to get that shape from doing any of these sorts of lateral movements, because you can feel it as you lift here. You're using that muscle, this muscle here. Okay, so this movement around the world is brilliant for working that the what's called the mid delt, the middle part of the shoulder. If you combine that with an Arnold, which is this movement, you're getting a really good workout for the front and the mid delt. So it's a really good twosome. When you're adding this to your workout, I'll give you detail at the end. I've got this workout as a workout sheet for you, so you can print it out and use it at home or take it with you to the gym. This is the second part of the whole body workout. The second one, you do each of these exercises as a beginner 12 to 15 times. So each pair you do together. So with this pair, you're going to do the Arnold and the around the world as one exercise. So you do 12 to 15 Arnolds followed by 12 to 15 around the world together. Then you rest for 45 seconds, and then you do 12 to 15 and 12 to 15 together. Rest for 45 seconds, 12 to 15, 12 to 15 together. That's your set for your shoulders, okay? This workout is 2 to 3 times a week with all of the sets. You're doing 12 to 15 reps. Look at your weights, make sure that you're not going too heavy or too light. So how do you know? In your 12 to 15 reps or repetitions of the exercise, you should be struggling by 10. By struggling, I mean you're having difficulty doing the whole exercise or doing it with proper posture, proper form. That is the point. You need to have some struggle in your exercise because that's how the muscle develops. But if you're struggling at 6 to 8, the weight is too heavy. If you're not struggling at all, the weight is too light, so you need to adjust a bit. If you're doing these exercises at home, it's good to have a set of dumbbells, more than a couple of weights. You probably need a range of dumbbells. In the lower range, I would say, if you're going to go out and get some dumbbells, really, you want to go from maybe from half a kilo up to about 12 kilos would be a good set of basic introductory weights. You're going to be working in the weights range of, between, say, 2 kilos and 8 to 10 kilos, and so that's a good range for you. So that's the second part of the routine. Let me just clear the floor and we'll do the next part of the routine. Right, we're now going to do an exercise for the chest, which uses the Viper, and another exercise, this is a Viper curl for your biceps. So I'll go back to that piece of equipment. This one, as you know, I've talked about this piece of Viper equipment. You can use dumbbells, but it works, I think, particularly well with a Viper. So this is your Viper. I'm going to put this on the floor because this one you're going to do a press up on the floor, but using the Viper on one side. Let me demonstrate it first and I'll explain what I'm doing. Just get my hair out of the way. Okay, now there a standard press up, but under one arm, I put this. The point of that, the point of that is to introduce a bit of instability, because it automatically increases the level of intensity of a press up. So if you're doing a press up that's on a flat floor and you're quite good at press ups, then putting a Viper under one arm and letting it roll and help you come back up increases intensity. If you're not at the level of being able to working through instability, you can do a straight press up. Let me show you a straight press up, the correct form for it, so then you have a choice. You can either do it with a Viper or without. One thing on the Viper you saw, I did it with both sides. So if we're going to do one side of the Viper, we then swap over and do the other side. If you're not going to use the Viper, then just double the number of press ups you would do. So straight forward press up, come down onto your knees, move out so you've got a little space you can see. Okay, feet slightly wider than hip distance, arms underneath, hands underneath your shoulders, stomach in, back up. Keep your elbows in, and you're literally just going to bend and squeeze up. Bend, squeeze up. Okay? That is a straightforward press up. What I don't want to see is this movement or that movement. If you find that too difficult, come down onto your knees. There's no shame in working up to an exercise. Much better to work up to an exercise and get the form right than to do an exercise badly. You're going to do it from your knees, you do exactly the same. Hands are in the same place, but you simply move this movement. Okay? More advanced, take your knees off and up. More advanced still, use the Viper. Okay? So that's a brilliant exercise for the whole of your chest. It also uses your triceps because you're pushing. I like to balance that with a bit of specific bicep work. You can use the Viper for this. This is the Viper bicep curl. Hands in the two hand holds. I'll demonstrate first and explain what I'm doing. Okay. Show from the side. Okay, what am I doing? I'm using the two hand holds, which involve holding the Viper with your thumb up, okay? Thumbs are up. This is very similar to doing what they call a bicep hammer curl. A normal bicep curl you would hold with your palms up in this movement. With a Viper, you're doing this movement. Both of them exercise your biceps. The difference is, with a hammer curl, number one, it works the width in your arms, not just the peak in your biceps. So it's a good one to add if you're already doing a bicep curl. And also if you're doing any sort of pulling exercises, let me put this down, pulling exercises, this sort of movement, or a bent over row, you're already working your bicep. By doing this movement, you're just hitting your bicep from a different angle. The second thing I certainly find with this type of movement is it puts less stress on my forearms. So I feel, I can often get quite sore on my forearms. I feel much less stress when doing that movement than when I'm doing that movement. But experiment with it, okay? So when I'm using a Viper, I like to do some bicep curls with the Viper. Now, you're going to put that press up and that Viper curl together as one exercise. You're going to do 12 to 15 reps of the first exercise, 12 to 15 reps of the press up, and then straight on to 12 to 15 reps with the bicep curl. You may find, certainly if you're a beginner, that the press up in particular you find quite tough. If you get halfway through your press ups and you can't finish in the traditional press up, drop down to your knees. The secret is to finish the set. Whatever you do, finish the set. Don't give up, just make it easier. Very, very worst case, you go down even onto your stomach and just do it as a back press up, but get to your 15 reps, okay? It's a bodyweight exercise, so it is going to be tough, but it's, as I've said in this video, the best exercise for your chest is a press up. Much better than a chest press because your shoulder blades are free, you're using your whole body. The bicep curl, it should be less of a challenge. If you're finding with the Viper, the bicep curl is too easy for you, then just add a level of intensity. Let me show you. So whereas a normal bicep curl will be like this, okay, what you can do is you can add some negatives. So when you come up to the top, You then bring it down very, 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 very slowly. That's called a negative. So you're distressing the downward motion, what's called the eccentric motion of the muscle. Come back up. Very, very, it's quite an advanced bodybuilding move, but it's all about trying to increase the intensity of the exercise, to keep challenging yourself. So it's this movement. I can feel my bicep muscle fibers recruiting on this one as I slow it down, okay? All right. But this is an entry-level workout, so if you're actually finding this is too easy, then maybe have a look at some of my arm superset workouts, which I've put on this channel, which have got more challenging moves you can do for your arms. So that's the next set on this exercise. I'm just going to clear the floor. We'll go on to the next exercise. Right, we're going to finish with some floor exercises, but they use a bench, and you can also use a chair for them. So again, this is a good one for home workout. These exercises I would normally do near the end. The first exercise is a lying glute lift, so it's really good for your bum, because you're going to lift your glute. And the other exercise is an upper back and shoulder exercise, where you're lying, you flip over and you lie, and you're going to lift from your back. And this is a good exercise for your back, but it's also a good exercise for learning to isolate, because when you're lifting, I'm going to ask you to try and concentrate on not engaging your glutes as you do this exercise, so that you use your back. So we'll start first of all with the glute exercise. This one you can use a plate or anything heavy. You can put a dumbbell on your stomach, but something just to add to the intensity. So I'm going to use a plate to do it. Just move my bench into plate. Okay, I've got my plate here. I'll demonstrate, then I'll come back and explain what I'm doing. Make sure you can see me. You can. Okay. Okay. Now, the point of this exercise is to squeeze your glutes as you come up. So it's particularly for lifting your bottom. You do a lot of cardio, a lot of running. Often you can waste your bottom, so you end up with quite a flat bottom, which you probably may not even be aware of because you don't see it yourself. But I often see with people who do a lot of endurance sport, particularly things like running, that they have underdeveloped glutes, and that's from an aesthetic perspective. I would suggest you probably want a more rounded rear, but also just in terms of your overall body strength, your glutes and your thighs are your foundation of your body, and you need to have power there and really to give yourself energy to also to fire your metabolism. So developing the lower part of your body is really important. In this exercise, I put a plate on my stomach just to add some weight intensity. If you find the exercise too hard with any weight in here, take the weight off. But to show you again the posture, first variation I did, I just put my legs over the bench, I lay down flat on my back, and I'm just literally going to lift, and I'm using my glutes to lift. So I'm keeping my lower leg still, and I'm just lifting my glutes, okay? That is quite an intense exercise on its own, okay? You're going to lift and down. You're going to lift and down. Try and get your bum nice and high. Lift and down. You want to make it more intense, lift your feet. And again, lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down, okay? So that's the first exercise that works your glutes and your hamstrings. The second exercise we're going to do is for your upper back. Just move my bench, you can see what I'm doing. Right. Let me demonstrate and then I'll explain what I'm doing. exercise works the lower part of your back in particular and a bit of the upper back. Now, I'm just going to hear out the way. The point about this exercise is to isolate. So, what you're doing is when you're lifting from this position, there is a tendency to squeeze your bottom, but that takes the stress off your back. Whereas what you're trying to do is develop the strength in your back. So, interesting psychological challenge. So, when you lift, consciously think, relax your bottom, let your back do the work. And you can feel, if you get that right, you can feel your lower back here doing the work. It's a fantastic exercise for strengthening the lower back, particularly if you're doing and starting to do squats and any form of sort of lower body work. You need to have a strong lower back, so it's a brilliant one for increasing that strength. It also leads to a very nice shape in the lower part of your back, particularly if you're a man. You like to have that part developed. You often see in the gym people using things that you stand on, you go into almost like a bent over position, holding weight and lifting up. Well, this is just a more basic version of that. We're just using your lower back to lift the upper part of your back. Okay, so that's the last set in this video. With all of these exercises, you do 12 to 15 of one exercise, straight on to the next exercise, 12 to 15, 45 seconds rest, 12 to 15, 12 to 15, 40 seconds rest, 12 to 15, 12 to 15, 45 seconds rest. So that is the second of my overall body workouts. If you're just starting with weights, brilliant way to start. It shouldn't take more than 15 minutes to do 2 to 3 times a week. You will feel better, you will look better. You'll be building muscle in your body, which is an engine for your metabolism. So it's a great way to take weight off or keep the weight off. So if you're looking to lose weight or shape up, it's a fantastic way to do that. Have a go. It's been a real pleasure. If you want to download this particular workout, then you can do that by going onto the website, which is at www.3pspublishing.com. If you want the workout sheet, then go on to 3pspublishing.com/beginners workout, and it'll be there for you. I've also put a link, I think, below the notes on this video, so you can have a look at that. Leave me a comment if there's any particular exercises you want to do or you're interested in doing, or body part that you want to develop, any particular training issue. I'm a personal trainer. Be delighted to help. I love to teach, and I love particularly to teach weights. So just give me a comment, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Subscribe to this channel, and lots of videos on here, lots more to come, all about weights, weight loss, fitness, nutrition, resilience. So how to feel great, how to look great. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you soon. Bye.